Carl. Yeah, look, it's, you know, Carl's got a theory that Chinese people don't age well. This man was a Chinaman, right? And he was 120 or something.
Yeah. Did you see a picture of him?
Yeah,
he's still alive.
No, he's not.
No,
He's
is he not?
No,
He's
died
dead.
at 120. So
he said 120 or something, but makes you wonder.
What makes you wonder?
Well, because they don't age well. I think he's using that.
What
He's probably about 37.
Oh God! Honestly, we walk down the street, right, and we see an elderly Chinese person,
yeah,
right, and kind of go, "Oh, I'm just thinking he is."
Yeah,
like it's not.
I don't understand this notion that Chinese people don't age well. I don't know where this has come about.
No, I mean, I'm not having a go.
No,
right?
I
I never want anyone to think I'm like having a go at them. But they are really good looking and they're healthy and that. Till they're about. I've never seen one, right? Can you tell me if you've seen a Chinese person who's about 30? It's either 20 or 50. There's no middle ground.
This is what I came back for. This is 2 hours of absolute drivel from the brain of Karl Pilkington.
Let me just check something. So the Chinese gentleman who died recently was 130. Your theory is your theory is that he's maybe in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
This is an elaborate conspiracy on his part, because obviously whenever they talk about the oldest people in the world, it is always a Chinese person.
Yeah.
Invariably.
They do, yeah.
I mean, they seem to win that every year.
Go on.
So your theory is that in those small backwater villages in China...
Ross McWhirter comes to a little village.
They go, the Guinness guy's on the way.
He goes, well, until recently, the oldest person in the world, how old are you? And they're so embarrassed, because they think they look about 120, they go, 120, they go, really? Go, yeah, can I have his birth certificate now? In fact, I think this Chinese bloke didn't, it wasn't verified with the conspiracy because he didn't have his papers.
Didn't have his papers, no.
So...
Is this the same one or a different fella?
I think it might be the same guy, I'm not sure. Trying it on. So there's a huge conspiracy amongst these Chinese villages that every time...
When you get to about 50, say you're 70. Because no one will believe us.
Well, if you can confirm or deny that, then please email in ricky.gervais@xfm.uk.
This is the Racist Show on XFM 104.9. Call in if you're anything less than a little mank. Outcast, Hey Ya, on XFM 104.9, with me, Ricky Gervais, you, Stephen Merchant, GQ Presenters of the Year.
Radio Personalities of the Year.
It's official.
We're the best radio personalities of the year.
We got that award sent to us, didn't we? And we did a little thing. But it was only our two names on it.
It had your name, Rick, definitely. I remember that. It had my name.
And your name.
Didn't see Karl Pilkington's name anyway.
No. And yet he's the one with the day off and the money and the conning the MD and making him cry at home.
Let me just remind. Can I just check that again? So he's made a fool out of the MD.
He's made a fool
and
out of
all
the
the
MD,
major, basically all the capital shareholders.
About, I'm not sure if I'm coming back or not. I want a day off then, which is the same day off as his girlfriend gets off. So he's just like walking round, I don't know, Hyde Park, just feeding ducks when he should be working out what he can do instead of Rockbusters, which is basically Blockbusters with a word changed. Christ's sake. Right,
if that's annoyed you, I'll tell you what has really wound me up.
Go on.
The last week or so, this postal strike. I tell you, Rick, I have got no sympathy for him. I'd be a scab. I'd be walking through there, and I'd be giving him the finger. I go, you can intimidate my family. I don't care. I don't care because the post has got to get through. Because I tell you what. It's not the fact that the unions, they could organise a strike. I'm behind that. That's fair enough. But not when it's these wildcats. They're just out there. They're just taking days off willy-nilly. They're sealing out the post boxes. It's going crazy.
Maybe Karl could deliver a few records Monday.
Well, I know Karl must be livid because his copies of the New Scientist and the Literary Review haven't turned up. So he's in a terrible way. And I got important documents that are supposed to be coming to me. There's nothing. There's hiding a hair of it. And I was cooking last night, and it got me panicked because I was thinking about if this just is going to spread now amongst other organisations and other groups. And do you know what?
Like a cancer.
It was partly because I was cooking. But you know, I suddenly become terrified that they might go on strike.
Go on.
The guys in charge of the potatoes.
Oh,
anyone involved with potatoes.
I had so much
the
mash
farmers.
last night. I had so much sausage mash, second helpings, that I had to sit on the edge of a seat so my stomach could hang down. I love spuds. Spuds and bread. I could not do without spuds and bread.
I feel like maybe I could make my own bread. Spuds, I wouldn't know where to start with a spud.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're amazing. You can boil them, you can broil them.
Yeah.
I don't know what broiling is, but I suspect it's tasty.
I don't think it's as good as, I mean, obviously the chipped potato is...
For the working classes,
it was always on. The chip fat fry was always on in my household. The ceiling, the 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 death trap fire, polystyrene ceiling was yellow.
Exactly.
Come Wednesday in our house.
Yeah.
And, always had chips.
Because all I remember hearing, if I think back to my childhood, all I remember was, gotta stop and get some potatoes, or phone your dad, tell him to get some potatoes.
Well, that was your job, wasn't it?
Carl?
Yeah.
I mean, it does concern me because
what did you have to do? Did you have to fill a diary out for your teacher?
Do you know when you're at school? I don't know if you do the same thing, but you get like a little red book, right? And every night, I think it was a way of the teachers sort of keeping an eye on you. So if you went out robbing, if you wrote it in your diary, they'd go what you're playing at.
Sure.
Right? So you'd have to write down what you did every night.
Yeah.
But I didn't get up to that much at that point.
Sure.
I used to just go on my errands.
Yeah.
And it was my job to like...
I haven't heard errand since the 70s.
Nice to hear that.
I went to U-Phase, right, the little local supermarket.
Yeah.
And I got...
What's it called? Euthanasia? What? I did...
U-Phase.
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 Yeah.
H-U-G-H. U-Phase.
Oh, Hugh Phase is his
name.
name, right.
Yeah. And I
I
just had to get like a bag of potatoes.
Of course you did, yeah.
And
Essential.
a loaf.
Staple.
So I used to put that in my diary every day, and it got to a point when like even the teachers were like, just make something up.
Yeah.
Stop putting the same thing in.
Sure, start joyriding or something. Live.
I remember when Jane was little, she was at school, I think it was about telling something like that, do a project over the week, and they were given a big list, like a list of 100 animals that they had to tick when they saw one that week. And the teacher knew she cheated because she ticked beaver. So she was trying to win and get it, but she knew, unless it was Susie Dibblethwaite's beaver.
I know
the school slut. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. So
I'm just, as I said, it feels like the potato people have got me over a barrel. You know, I mean, they could hike the prices up. I still have to buy the potatoes. I got nothing else. I got to have that. You know, you got your fancy pastas for the upper classes, but for the working classes, it's chips or mash, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry. I don't think people who do potatoes are going to go on strike.
You don't think so?
Because we just go and pick them ourselves, don't we? Or grow them ourselves.
Sure.
What would be the most pointless strike? What would be the strike that we went so? Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you one strike that would go so. Those guys who do sketches in Covent Garden. Yeah, take a picture, or they do a caricature of you.
The strike, imagine the strike! You go out and you go, well, I want one with a big nose and a big chin.
I want an amusing caricature of me and my sister.
yeah. Oh dear.
But I need a sketch, I need a pencil drawing of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Looking like a monkey. I mean, how are we gonna get this? This is unbelievable. Yeah,
I'll tell you also, the strikes that have no effect.
What?
Those, people in nightclub toilets. Who just, you know, kind of there, they got the Lynx deodorant sprays.
Oh, well, no, quite controversial at the moment, with the Tweedy case.
Oh, the Cheryl Tweedy case.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure, I got some thoughts on that, actually.
Like what?
Or maybe we play a record, I'll share my thoughts on.
Well,
on Tweedster.
Coming up, some Steve Merchant thoughts on the Cheryl Tweedy case. What's FM, 104.9.
Some R.E.M., Rick?
What's the frequency, Kenneth? What's the frequency, Kenneth? I'll tell you, it's 104.9 XFM. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Karl, the user Pilkington.
Just takes.
Takes. Destroy the man. Go to you, Steve.
You should talk like that more. It's cool and sexy.
Thank you.
I make it clear now, I do not condone in any way, shape or form what Cheryl Tweedy did. But I have to say, they wind me up.
By they, you mean toilet attendants?
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
yeah,
Not Pop Idol winners.
That's what I thought you meant,
yeah.
So, go on.
But, because I'll tell you what it is, you go into a club, or pubs, or big friendly pubs, you go in there, and there's the toilet attendant in there, he's got his little display of, aftershaves, sprays, some sweets maybe,
blue straw
whatever it might,
and maybe a lollipop.
Maybe a lollipop. And, alright, I don't know if I assume they're not employed by the club. I'm assuming the club's got, we got the DJ, we got the bar staff, wait a minute, we need a guy to irritate you.
When the manager walks in, do they hide?
Well, this is it, I don't know if it's a guy who's just like...
Is it like busking?
Yeah, he snuck in.
Like,
He came in when it was free during happy hour, he's got a little bag, carrier bag, he snuck in the toilet. But the thing is, it's the fact that... toilet attendants, fair enough. I mean, I'm happy if a toilet attendant sneaks in under cover of darkness, cleans it for me, and then shoots off. But it's when I have to see them there. I feel guilty because I'm like, it's like, maybe wash my hands, I'll forget he's there. He'll hand me a paper towel, suddenly I got to tip him like
But
a quid or
it
something.
annoys me because
just out of
I
piss.
wash my hands at all. I don't usually wash my hands.
never wash my hands.
I sometimes don't even bother getting my knob out. I do it while I stand and change my trousers when I get home.
Exactly.
So it annoys me I have to go through this charade of getting it out, slushing out of it, shaking it dry, and then washing my hands.
See,
just
if he
'cause
did any of those elements,
what,
I'd
shaking
tip
it for
him
you?
a quid, yeah.
Pop it out,
But
yeah.
not to hand me a paper towel and get it myself.